We are, of course, continuing our rolling coverage of the Lok Sabha 2024 election results. At the top of 2 o'clock, I would just like to take our viewers quickly through the numbers as per the official website of the Election Commission. Bharatiya Janata Party leading on 239 seats right now. Indian National Congress on 99 seats, Samajwadi Party on 37 seats, the TMC on 30 seats, DMK on 21 seats, the TDP on 16 seats, the JDU on 14 seats, Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray on 11 seats, the NCP, Sharad Pawar faction on 6 seats, the LGP on 5 seats, and the Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde faction on 5 seats as well, YSRCP on 4, CPIM on 4, RJD on 3. And those are, of course, the key numbers. Aam Aadmi Party on 3 as well. I have with me our panelists to take this discussion forward. Somewhere or the other, the results do seem a little bit stabilized. However, at this point in time, every last seat matters. There are several seats that we have also discussed previously that are currently fighting a very, very close battle. So it really now boils down to every last seat. But as far as the numbers are concerned, they're on your screens as well. And as I've said, the Bharatiya Janata Party at 239 and the ND at this point in time continues to be very comfortably above the halfway mark of 272. I have with me on the broadcast Savio Rodriguez of the BJP, Swati Malik of the Congress, Pathikrit also joins us. We have Shashank Shekhar, political analyst with us, Ujjwal Chaudhary, political analyst, Chandni Preeti Shah, and Mr. Pankaj Vora, executive editor of the Sunday Guardian, also with us. Let me begin this conversation with Chandni, if I may. Chandni, as I've just read out the numbers, and we have seen for the past couple of hours that the NDA bloc as a whole has managed to now stay above the halfway mark. The simple point right now is that the benchmark that was set by the BJP for itself and for the NDA as a whole was extremely high, right? They were talking about a 400 par. So the BJP supporters right now are feeling really upset, are not too happy because they were expecting an exceedingly phenomenal performance. However, the numbers still speak for themselves. A victory at the end of the day will be a victory. The NDA is forming the government. And the Congress party, on the other hand, is currently leading on 99 seats, and the numbers continue to change. The India Alliance continues to be on 234. That's sort of where they've been, between 230 to 240. Why is it that, of course, the BJP must introspect and wonder what exactly happened. But like I said, for people to now start claiming that this is actually a major victory for the Congress party and that the Bharatiya Janata Party has done, it's been a disaster. That's not true. The numbers really do speak for themselves.
Hi, Devika. So, you are very right when you say that. See, they aimed high, all right? They aimed for 400. They did not reach that aim. They aimed for 400 because they know what they've done in the past 10 years.
Right.
It's not just the Hindu-Muslim that they've done. It's not just the, Mangal Sutra and Mujra and whatnot that, the opposition comes and keeps saying. That is not at all that they have done. They have done a lot of things in the last 10 years. There were people who were saying that the GDP would not cross 5. Today it's 8.2, right? We have, we have from 7 aims, today we have 23 aims. From 7 IITs, today we have 21 IITs running, to 3 already up and ready, to run. There are a lot of things. Like, I have a list of things that I can go on for 10 minutes that the BJP government has done in the last 10 years. Now, coming to, the opposition rejoicing and, saying that, oh, BJP, see, that is what, if Narendra Modi said that, I once said that, okay, we would go 400 par, and their whole narrative, focused into how we would not let BJP cross the mark of 400. And today also they are rejoicing with this fact that, okay, BJP is not going to cross the mark of 400, but they are not, they are not accepting that fact that it is going to form the government no matter what. For the next 5 years, they are going to cry only. they have to do this only for the next 5 years. So see, their strategy, their entire strategy of the elections was that Modi ko harana hai. वो कैसे हराना है, सबको साथ आके हराना है. They had no vision for the country. They had, I have read their manifesto. No vision for India. We would give 1 lakh rupees to each woman, but where is the blueprint? There was no blueprint. 35 crore women in India, and from where would they bring the 35 lakh crores? Right? Today they are in alliance, but they do not have a PM candidate. Right? They are in alliance at one place, but they are standing against each other and cussing each other at at Punjab and at Bengal and in all other states. So the alliance that has been formed was only formed with one mission, that we have to anyhow defeat Modi. Now that strategy is not going to work. You have to tell what would you do for the people of India. You have to tell how much, what would you contribute if you are coming into the power. Now you see the other state-wise. Now as I said earlier also when I was with Uday, that there are 193 seats right now that are below the margin of 10,000, and I am sure that at least 50% of these seats would flip in the favor of NDA and BJP.
Okay, Ujjwal Chaudhary wants to come in there. Ujjwal Chaudhary.
Yeah, first of all, the last word on this election is yet not spoken.
Yes.
To my knowledge, 106 seats are there, where the margin of difference between the leading and the trailing candidates are less than 30,000 votes. 106 borderline states come from UP, Bihar, Bengal, Maharashtra, and even 2 in Gujarat. Maybe one off here and there, Punjab and others are also there. So these 106 seats, finally, yes, as a pre-poll alliance, leading. But we do not know the last figure, point 1. Point 2, I have strong reasons to say what I'm saying next. Stalin has contacted Chandrasekhar Naidu, whereas on the other hand, BJP has offered Chandrasekhar Naidu to become the
Chandrababu Naidu, yes,
the chairman of the NDA. So here Stalin has already contacted and Sharad Pawar has contacted Nitish Kumar. We really do not know where the situation will go by 8 p.m. today and by 8 p.m. tomorrow. So that's point 1. Now, as far as the broad issues are concerned, people have already voted. Right, wrong, left, right. Let's not get into that. People have voted. The exit polls gave 350 to 420 votes, seats for NDA. Things have been much lower than that. Some channels are telling as much as 272, 274. Some are telling 290. That's fine.
Okay.
Even 1 or 2 channels, I do not want to get into that, are also telling that India is getting slightly higher. The issue is that people have spoken. There has not been a single overarching issue this time, like it was Pulwama last time. Like before that was 3G scam and Achhe Din promise. So there was no single overarching issue. Every state voted on state situations, issues at that particular state. There are certain states, for example, I'm talking from Calcutta. I'm sure the BJP never expected the drubbing that it is getting now. At this point of time, it's 9 seats leading. And they were already at 18 and they were expecting to grow even more. So there were several reasons that went into consolidation of all pro-Mamata votes in her favor. That happened. Then the certain segment of the vote that went to BJP last time came back to the left and Congress. They have not won much, but they've got 16% votes. So which were less than 9% last time. 5-6% have shifted back. So there were several other issues. 8 out of the 42 candidates of BJP are former TMC leaders, whom people have already rejected.
Yes,
so there have been issues like that.
Yes. Okay, all right. So your perspective is that after 10 years, and because there was no overarching national issue per se, in fact, the national issues came much later. Once the campaigning and the elections had already begun is when we saw the elections gaining some steam and momentum in terms of issues of wealth distribution and caste surveys, and all of those issues came up much later. They came up much later.
With the manifesto, Congress manifesto issue, the wealth distribution point came. If you remember, the discussion on BJP manifesto has been much lesser than the discussion on Congress manifesto. What India flopped in the campaign is not to come out with a India bloc common manifesto. They should have brought it. So whether the same Congress manifesto or something new, whatever. But this manifesto, the Congress manifesto was debated a lot.
Okay.
So wealth distribution became the discussion on Has and Pani Ki Toti and Mangal Sutra was a much dumbing down of the campaign.
Okay,
and
okay.
people, I'm sure, did not like it.
All right. Okay, I want to bring in Pankaj Vora as well. Mr. Vora, I just want to understand from you, if the Prime Minister does come back, if the NDA does come back, regardless of the numbers, like I said, they literally just need 273 to win, right, at the end of the day. If they do come back, they will still be making history. So is it fair to disregard that altogether, simply because, like I said in the beginning itself, they had themselves set a really high benchmark?
Well, it has to be understood that these elections are not over as yet. The final results will be tabulated and will be known by later this evening or by tomorrow morning or something of that nature. Number two is that the only thing certain before the elections also was that BJP will be the single largest party, and it is going to be the single largest party. And now it has to be seen whether it is under 250 or it is to be seen whether it is over 272. Now, if it remains under 250, it has its own implications, because it will be for the first time in last 10 years that BJP will have to be dependent on its allies to help in formation of the government. So how will the allies behave? What will happen? And another salient feature of this election is that the RSS has not participated and supported the BJP and has been neutral. So will the RSS assert itself if the BJP is under 250 or 240 and, perhaps, pull out some trick up its sleeve? Another thing is, like the previous speaker said, there are no overarching issues. One way of interpreting it also is that the 2014 victory was not on account of BJP's own strength, but on account of the anti-Congress and anti-scam and anti-corruption movements that had preceded 2014 election.
Yes.
Similarly, 2019, the overarching issue was, the Pulwama attack, which had, aroused patriotic and nationalistic feelings and had helped the BJP to, surge beyond 300. Now, with no overarching issues and with the RSS not working, how is the BJP going to look at the entire thing? This is to be seen. Number two, in 1989, after scoring more than 400 seats in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi had still emerged as the leader of the single largest party with 196 or 197 seats.
Okay.
However, he stated that the mandate was against the Congress, so he decided to sit in opposition.
Okay.
Now it is to be seen whether the BJP does the same thing, because the mandate is...
Yes, Mr. Vora, sorry to interrupt you there. I've been told Pawan Khera, leader of the Congress party, also joins us on the broadcast. Mr. Khera, thank you so much for speaking to NewsX. It is, of course, the counting is still underway, sir, and of course, matters continue to remain quite tense. But we just want to understand from you, given the current trends, as per the official website of the Election Commission, Congress leading on 99 seats so far. How is the Congress viewing the results?
No, we are absolutely confident of getting many more seats, and we are confident of touching the 295 mark as an alliance. And let's wait and watch. The Election Commission website is a little slow in uploading the data. So from our counting centers, we are getting very encouraging reports.
Okay, if you can shed some light, sir, how exactly does the Congress party then, what is the plan forward? You're saying you're very confident of getting the numbers.
The plan forward is the plan forward is to meet the alliance partners and take it forward.
Okay, the Congress party then, you're saying if you do win, the Congress party emerges as the single largest party. Have discussions already been had on what really will be the next steps? Because everybody, of course, is then waiting for a name, for a leader.
Yeah, you won't have to wait for long.
Okay, I'm getting very, very crisp and precise answers from Mr. Pawan Khera. But Mr. Khera, at the end of the day, like you said, counting is still going on. But these numbers, the current numbers, is the Congress party truly happy about its performance thus far? And if you were to predict, how many more seats are you hoping to get in the next few hours till the counting actually stabilizes
because
further?
when Mr. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, when he undertook the Bharat Jodo Yatra, I think that's when the dialogue between the people and Congress party actually started. All along, the BJP was spending billions of rupees on destroying our image, destroying our legacy, and they didn't succeed. The Nyay Patra went down very well with the people of India. Mr. Kharge cobbled a very good alliance. Very consistently, he brought everyone together. And I think Priyanka ji's emergence as an ace campaigner to communicate what our Nyay Patra is and to counter Mr. Modi's very childish jibes, I think it went on very well with the people. And hats off to the people of this country who do not tolerate anybody's arrogance. This man was almost declaring himself as the incarnation of God.
Okay, but Mr. Khera, the BJP, as per the current trends, continues to be the single largest party in the country. Can it be dismissed as a force, as a political force?
For a man who thought that for a man who declared himself as the reincarnation of Lord Vishnu, this is worse than a defeat.
Okay, all right. We've heard from Pawan Khera, leader of the Congress party. Thank you so much, Mr. Khera.
Thank you.
Like I said, it's a busy time for all of you, and all the parties trying to, of course, get an understanding of where exactly what their position is currently. But I want to bring in our analysts back into the conversation. Let me bring in, if I can, Pathikrit at this point in time. Pathikrit, for the opposition to now say that this is the worst possible disaster for the Bharatiya Janata Party, do you think that's a fair assessment? Because like I said, we're hours now into the counting taking place. Yes, there are several seats which continue to be very close battles, and all of us understand that this is now a seat by seat contest, quite literally. It could come down to that. But as far as the current numbers are concerned, for the opposition to come and say that this is a disaster for the Bharatiya Janata Party, is that really true? Because if we were to go by the current digits, the NDA is coming back. Prime Minister Modi is coming back.
Devika, first of all, against the backdrop of what Bharatiya Janata Party projected in terms of India winning 400 seats, so compared to that, I think, yes, this result is not as per their expectations. I think it is definitely a setback, and they have to introspect about some of the local, regional issues or issues related to candidate selection or the patterns of voting. But if you look at how UPA fared in 2014 after being in government for 10 years, you would see that UPA was reduced. UPA was reduced to 93 seats, and Congress got 44 seats. Now contrast that with the NDA being in power, Modi government being in power for 10 years. And after that, even after that, if BJP is getting 240 seats and NDA is getting 290 plus, then I don't think, it is that bad a result. We have to be a little realistic rather than bringing personal bias. If somebody thinks that after getting 240 seats, BJP should sit in the opposition, then I think it's a little more personal bias than an analysis.
Right.
I think the president would still call Bharatiya Janata Party provided this number remains. I am not trying to speculate what happens in the next 2-3 hours.
Okay.
If this number remains, then BJP remains the single largest party. I think Prime Minister Modi would be invited to form the government. So I think the advantage would definitely be with Bharatiya Janata Party. Now, if whatever happens, I don't know what happens in the next 2 hours. If the Congress or the alternate is brought into or asked to form a government, who would be their prime ministerial candidate and who would listen to whom? That's a question mark. We all know, because one of the biggest glue that brought all these people together, with due respect to their performance, has been the Modi factor, nothing else. Because most of the time they don't see eye to eye with each other. So let us accept whether, irrespective of what the India government performed in the last 10 years, no doubt they have done a lot of good work. There has been a disconnect, perhaps, you have to accept, between their long-term agenda, which are good, and a certain short-term crisis maybe some people faced, or the patterns of caste line voting that is a reality of central, Hindi heartland, especially UP or Rajasthan. These are realities. I think they have to introspect. The more pertinent issue is this. I think in the next 5 years, the government wanted to bring major policy reforms, some radical reforms. Whether those reforms can be brought in, if it remains a 240 BJP and if it remains a coalition government, depending more on the coalition partners, whether those reforms can be brought in, I think that is an issue. But otherwise, After being in 10 years in power, if you are still coming back with 240 plus seats on your own and having a 290 plus for the coalition, I think it is not that bad a performance. If this performance had come, Devika, in 2014 for BJP and NDA, even then NDA would have been very happy. But the expectations have been risen so far so much in the last 10 years that people expected more. But yes, anti-incumbency is a reality in this country. Once you got used to everything, you don't realize what was the situation 10 years back when there were so many terror attacks. You don't realize many things because, attention span, memory is an issue. So we have to respect the audience. We have to respect the voters. The Congress, everything said and done, whether their campaign was positive or negative, it did impact in a way. And I think it's time for BJP to introspect.
Okay, all right. Shashank Shekhar, bringing you into the conversation, I just want to understand from you. Like I said, and as Patikrita was also pointing out, that if the numbers more or less stabilize around the current marks that we're seeing on our screens, up and down just by, say, 10, 20 seats perhaps, for each party, for that matter, it still remains advantage BJP in this situation because as the single largest party, they will be invited to form the government. They have their pre-poll alliances very clear. But do you feel that somewhere it's now time for really hectic parleys within the BJP? Because that's something that they've also not been used to in the past 10 years. They're used to forming single largest party majority government for the past 2 times. So this time around, it will be different for the Bharatiya Janata Party as well. How do you see that scenario sort of playing out?
It is unfortunate that India will have to return to coalition government. We have seen in past as to how smaller parties, be it with BJP or with Congress, has made their own benefit out of a government while supporting with fewer number of seats or Lok Sabha members. So that will be not very good situation for India as a country. However, what I have been thinking about is that none of the BJP supporters or leaders, even after current scenario into consideration, have actually doubted the process or the EVM. They are calling for introspections. They are calling for more study on this. They are asking for changes or discussions in future and what are the problems. Had it been Congress or the opposition alliance getting less seats than anticipated, there would have been demonstration against EVM and voters and north versus south, etc. What we have seen in past. So yes, coalition government is likely to come. However, I am still expecting, especially from states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal, where the vote margin still is less than 20k. So the seats where the margin is less than 20k, the chances are very likely that it can change. Seats where the margin is 1 lakh or above, I don't think that will change. For example, I just checked Amethi from Uttar Pradesh.
Yes.
The margin is around 1 lakh. So I don't think that will change. Okay. However, the seats with margin of 5,000, 6,000, 10,000 in states like UP, Bihar and Bengal, that can change.
Okay, all right. Ujjwal Chaudhary wanted to come in there. Ujjwal Chaudhary, also, I just want to bring in, Jairam Ramesh has just tweeted about the Prime Minister. He says it's now been proved that the outgoing Prime Minister is going to become former. He must take moral responsibility and resign. This is the message of the election. On what basis then really is the Congress party also making these comments? Because like I said, if the current numbers have not changed drastically in the past 2-3 hours, I'm not saying that they won't increase or decrease, but the past 2-3 hours we've seen sort of stable numbers. Given that the Congress party, is it fair for the Congress party to really be giving themselves such a huge pat on the back for the sort of performance they've had? Yes, they've done it way better than last time, but last time they were really in the dumps for a national party, and they've of course improved and something really has gone right. But to say at this point in time that the Prime Minister must resign, even though BJP continues to be the single largest party.
First of all, on defense of Congress, let the Congress spokesman speak. As an analyst, I would say that yes, you are right. These numbers are getting stabilized gradually. So NDA as an alliance, not BJP, NDA as an alliance may be above 270 as is now looking like.
Yes.
I will add a caveat, 106 seats are there, below 30,000 difference, out of which 17 seats have been highlighted already by Akhilesh Yadav in tweet. noting caution there, and all of them are below 30,000 gap. All over the country, 106 are there, and this includes seats from Rajasthan, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and 2 from even Gujarat. So this is one part. So there could be change of numbers, but provided, taking your argument, or rather your scenario into consideration, that NDA is the leading alliance above 272, the president is constitutionally duty bound to invite NDA to form the government, and will give a specific time, 7, 8, 10 days, whatever, to prove their majority on the floor of the Lok Sabha. In this scenario, there could be many changes. As you all know, that the personality of Mr. Modi has been quite domineering. So allies dependence may force RSS to call for a new leader of BJP. It's a serious possibility, point one. And please, I'm sure everyone understands this. RSS has not been very active in the Hindi heartland. Otherwise, the results in UP would have been different. Having said that, if there is a change of leader, there could be a different scenario.
Okay.
On the other hand, if there is no change of leader, there is a bright possibility of some of the alliance partners of India moving out. And hence, I just said a little earlier, I'm adding to that, the NDA has offered NDA chairmanship to Chandrababu Naidu, and Chandrababu Naidu on one side, and on the other side, special status has been offered by Stalin on behalf of India Alliance. And similarly, and this is very critical, similarly, if Nitish Kumar leaves Bihar to Tejasvi, he has been offered Deputy Prime Minister by India Alliance. These scenarios may be cock and bull story just now to your ears, may not be the same thing 1 day later, 1 or 2 days later. Therefore, first of all, we should know the final figures. And the figures are going very, very close at this point of time. But if at all NDA is called, there could be a change of leader. It could be an NDA government with a new leader. And it could be change in the composition of NDA itself. These are possibilities. India composition will not break. For the simple reason...
all right. Okay, so you made your point. Yes, I want to bring in Rishabh Gulati into the conversation as well. Rishabh, as far as the current numbers are concerned, what are the possible then perhaps scenarios that we are considering just on the basis of the current numbers?
You just said cock and bull story because we are trying to now say that after winning 240 seats, that someone else is going to say that mandate is not for Narendra Modi, it's for somebody else, or that the RSS thinks that there's a better option out there, or that the allies would want to think there's a better option out there. The next name you'll be given is Nitin Gadkari. We've all been here before, okay? So let's not kid ourselves. The mandate is for Narendra Modi. If indeed the NDA gets 272 seats and the president invites them to form a government, that government is going to be led by Narendra Modi. Let's not confuse ourselves. I'll just give you the results that have now been declared, which are now beyond speculation. Manju Sharma has been declared. She's won by 3.3 lakh votes in Jaipur. Charanjit Singh Channi of the Indian National Congress has had a thumping victory with almost 2 lakh votes, 1.75 lakh votes in Jalandhar. So those 2 seats are now declared. What is going to happen now next is that we have to now wait for each seat to be declared, for the polling officer to give the certificate to these people. The BJP is now going to be sitting, collecting all of them, and if they move quickly, it might be tonight itself that they would want to go to the president with a set of numbers with which to claim to form the government. As has been already discussed, if they have 272 as declared by the Election Commission, there is no constitutional confusion. The president will invite the Bharatiya Janata Party to form the government. In case they don't have the numbers and nobody has the numbers and it's a hung house, which is unlikely but can happen, it's 20 seats away from being a hung house, in which case the single largest party gets the opportunity. Now, you will be told very shortly that the Congress will offer Nitish Kumar the prime ministership to get him to come across. They are going to have to be much closer in the numbers for that to happen. Remember, there are lots of others, lots of very interesting election results. You might have an Amrit Pal Singh just winning a seat out of Punjab, believe it or not. You're going to have 2 independents, one of them defeating Omar Abdullah, and their proclivities and their thought processes in terms of ideology might leave some people thinking certain things, but that's how democratic processes work. Unless you're convicted of something, you can fight an election, win, and become a Lok Sabha MP. So what is no doubt that this election is down to the wire, that every seat matters. It is not done. We are now well into almost 3 o'clock. It's not done. Every single seat and every single returning officer certificate matters. There is no doubt that a mandate has been received by Narendra Modi. There is no doubt that the mandate has been reduced by the people of this country. The mandate is not for the Congress party with 100 seats. If you told Rajiv and Indira that the Congress had won 100 out of 543 seats, they would not be feeling proud of themselves. It's because the bar for the Congress is now double. They've doubled the seats, credit to them. But in Narendra Modi's birthday party, the Congress has received a promotion letter. Let's not confuse ourselves. So a lot of things will go around, but let's not confuse ourselves on those, because those are conversation points. The only thing that matters right now is who gets how many returning officer certificates, who claims to form the government, and please don't start thinking that somebody else is about to become prime minister unless the numbers change dramatically, which they still can. There are still about 70-80 seats with the margin is less than 20,000, so the numbers can still change.
Okay, Savio, as far as the ground reports are concerned, what exactly are you learning? Because like I said, every seat does matter. What are you learning as far as the ground situation is concerned?
Well, Devika, I'm extremely confident that the BJP NDA is going to form the government, and this is going to be the third of the Narendra Modi government. It's a race, just like any other race that you would experience in life. What matters is crossing the finishing line and winning the race. And that's what BJP NDA is going to achieve. Yes, we did not touch the records that were planned, and we will introspect on that. But the most important thing is winning. And if we cross the 272 mark, then Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister. And I believe we are going to do that. We're going to cross more than 272. However, what we need to now really look at is what really went wrong. And my assessment is that the minority consolidation has something that has benefited the opposition a lot and in considerably amount of places. Like in Goa, for example, in the South Goa seat, there was almost 85 to 90% of the minority consolidation that happened in favor of the India Alliance candidate, and that is why you had them winning the South Goa seat. But what has not happened in favor of the BJP is that the Hindu consolidation that should have happened around as much as the minority consolidation did not happen. And that is why you would see in certain areas, the BJP will not fare as desirable as expected. But this is a lesson for us to introspect and actually rework the strategies when dealing with overall issues. The second most important point is that while many people want India to become like a Western world, like the US, for example, where everything is about individual leaders, I think we are living in a very democratic country and a very diverse country. So while national-based politicians are also very important, it is also the strength of the regional, local leadership.
Okay.
That is also very important for us to create a strong foundation. And that is something that BJP needs to work on as well.
Okay, Swati Malik of the Congress, bringing you into the conversation. Pawan Kher has just told us that the India bloc is expecting to cross the halfway mark as well. If you can just shed some light, where exactly are you hoping to then get those numbers from, given the current scenario?
Devika, like the experts just said, there are about 60 to 70 seats which are less than 30,000. So let's just wait for those numbers to come. 3 o'clock, I'm sure it's a matter of another 2 hours and we'll have the final results. But the numbers as they stand are, no matter how much you try and balance it, Devika, to say that at least BJP is still going to form the government, it is still Narendra Modi's birthday party where Congress has received a promotion letter, etc. I am sorry, the voters have decided differently. The narrative that was built by Modi ji and the BJP of making this parliamentary election almost like a presidential election. It seemed like the country was voting for Narendra Modi ji or India Alliance. That is what was happening. So there was this one man who was projected. Nobody was talking about local leadership, and Savio, in all fairness, has just said that, everybody, all political parties for that matter, everybody needs to, focus on the local leadership as well. It can't be a one-man show, because that one-man show that the BJP was trying to run since last 10 years has failed. The gentleman said, the Prime Minister, even if he was taking a, jab at the whole system, and he said, that yes, 400 पार. अब वो खुद एक इंटरव्यू में बोल रहे, अरे मैंने 400 पार बोला, उन्हें पता ही नहीं चला मैं कहाँ ले गया हूँ. So he tried to change the whole narrative, right, to this 400 par, and try to probably boost the moral of his BJP workers, which is good as a leader. But look where it's landed them. Today, the even NDA is not matching 303. It is less than what they got as NDA, right? Less than that. So just imagine the kind of
Swati Malik, a win will be a win at the end of the day. Are you saying that the India bloc will then match 303 by the time the counting is done?
Well,
or will the India bloc be happy if they get 273? And if so, why should the NDA not be happy about that?
Because it's a downfall of our NDA. Please look at that. Please see the number of votes they had last time, from 353 to even 275 or 300. It is a downgrading. They've been rejected by the voters. Look at the percentage.
But formation of a government is formation of the government, Swati. That's what I'm saying. Trying to explain to me. You're saying that it's a downfall simply because the BJP set the benchmark really high for themselves.
No, not just, Devika, not just the BJP, the media too. The exit polls too. Please understand what has happened here from exit poll, opinion polls. Everybody made it such a...
Okay, say take your exit polls and opinion polls with a pinch of salt. But Rishabh, is that a fair assessment to say that this is a downfall?
Okay, let me address this as a journalist, okay, an editor of a news channel. I remember starting off 2009, everybody had written off the UPA. No chance are they going to return to power. It's not going to happen. Stock market is going to collapse on Monday. It is going to be a totally fractured hung house mandate, okay. That's what the exit poll said. That's all the analysts, that's all the people like us said. And hey presto, Manmohan Singh, Sonia Gandhi delivered a UPA win in 2009. Okay, so not with a pinch of salt. The exit polls last time under-predicted Narendra Modi's performance. This time by 20%, not by a small measure. They under-predicted the BJP performance by 30-40 seats. This time around, they over-predicted it easily by 40-50 seats. Okay, 300 plus was everybody's exit poll. It'll be near the 240-250 mark. So let's boil it down, Devika, to what is fair. What is fair is that a mandate which is historic. This is the government in power, because once the Congress finished under the UPA and somebody else got the mandate, that party fell from 150, 160 seats down to 40. Here the BJP has gone potentially from 303 down to 240. There's no comparison. So my initial verdict on this is the correct one. This is still Narendra Modi's party. This is still him. But he has been reduced. There's no doubt about it. How is the BJP going to digest that they don't have a single party rule anymore? It's going to be difficult for them. Obviously, the opposition has something to rejoice. And Akhilesh Yadav should be ecstatic. He's almost matched the BJP one-on-one in UP. The Congress party has done even better than they themselves were thinking that they'll do in UP. So the Congress party needs to introspect, and Karnataka could have done better. Look at Mamata Banerjee's performance. She's an incumbent facing I don't know how many decades of incumbency. She's performed very well. So it is a very interesting and a very balanced mandate which has come. There has not been a Modi wave, but to say that this is not Narendra Modi's election would be a leap of faith also.
Okay, Pankaj Vora, bringing you in on the aspect of Uttar Pradesh, was Akhilesh Yadav's presence really underplayed somewhere by the Bharatiya Janata Party? And this is a question that has been raised and posed to them several times, because we did see that Akhilesh Yadav led a very, very strong campaign in Uttar Pradesh, also in terms of groundwork. If you were to just go visit Uttar Pradesh and see what was truly happening on the ground, one could tell that the Samajwadi Party is all guns blazing as far as this election is concerned, and somewhere you can see that in the results as well. So, did the Bharatiya Janata Party somewhere underplay Akhilesh Yadav?
Akhilesh Yadav was getting massive crowds wherever he went. He worked very hard. Even, whenever Rahul Gandhi was to hold a rally in Uttar Pradesh, he would hold it along with Akhilesh Yadav, because together, they were able to address huge gatherings. One thing which was working in favor of the alliance between Congress and Akhilesh Yadav was that the Muslim and Dalit consolidation was there. And in some seats, because of the Rajput factor, which was, because of this agitation going on elsewhere, the Rajput vote also shifted towards, it appears, I mean, we will have to analyze it later in minuteness, but it appears that it has shifted towards this particular combination, and the Brahmins had earlier been unhappy. So there are a combination of factors. Mayawati, this time her campaign just did not take off, and I mean, BJP also in selection of candidates perhaps has faltered, and it somehow there was also this impression that all was not well between Mr. Yogi, the Chief Minister, and Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister, which I don't believe to be, but people were talking about it, and in double engine ki sarkar mein Yogi says that if Modi becomes the Prime Minister for the third time, he won't remain the Chief Minister. All that talk was also there. But overall, the major difference in UP was with the RSS not working on the ground and the RSS not managing things at the micro level. Things did not work out well for the BJP. So it is basically the absence of RSS from the fray that has perhaps led to Akhilesh's resurgence and BJP's downfall in Uttar Pradesh.
Okay, Chandni Preeti Shah, Akhilesh Yadav, Samajwadi Party, last time five seats to now nearly, if the current numbers are to be believed, 35 seats, leading on 35 seats. That's a big jump for the Samajwadi Party. What do you think has worked in their favor as far as UP is concerned?
Very bluntly, what's worked in their favor is the, Muslim Yadav combination. The minority votes have definitely gone to Akhilesh Yadav, in a large number, and as he has always been playing on the on the Jativad side of and that card has actually worked somehow in UP. He has done tremendously well. I was not expecting Akhilesh Yadav to do so well in the elections, because the kind of the response that you two were getting on your channel, when you were there to do surveys, was a lot more different than what kind of results we are looking at right now. But again, the margin of these votes are very less, where SAPA is, Samajwadi Party is actually currently leading. They have, there are 9 seats which are less than 10,000 votes, out of which 2 seats which are less than 500 votes. There's 1 seat, I guess, Kheri is having a difference of only 72 votes. So, again, as I said, there will be a shift in the, in the seats once, these margins would come down on these seats in UP.
Can I just read that out? Aligarh, Bijendra Singh of the Samajwadi Party leading by 9,000 votes to 9,217. In Aonla, Dharmendra Kashyap of the Samajwadi Party leading by 1,900 votes. In Chandan Chauhan of the Samajwadi Party in Bijnor leading by 9,000 votes. In Farrukhabad is the opposite. Naval Kishore Shake of the BJP is leading by only 4,600 votes. In Fatehpur Sikri, where the Congress is leading but by 275 votes. In Fatehpur, the Samajwadi Party leading by 4,600 votes. In Kanpur, the BJP is leading by 5,000 votes. In Maharajganj, Pankaj Chaudhary is leading of the BJP by 10,000 votes. In Meerut, the Samajwadi Party is leading by 8,300 votes. Anupriya Patel, point of conversation with Pankaj ji, leading by only 9,000 votes. In Phulpur, Naveen Patel leading by only 2,000 votes. In Salempur, Samajwadi Party leading by only 400 votes. Naveen Jindal is now leading by 8,000 votes. In Sonipat, the Congress is leading by 560 votes. In Attingal, the Congress is leading by 230 votes. In Thiruvananthapuram, Shashi Tharoor is leading by only 5,000 votes. He won by lakhs last time. Balurghat, the BJP is leading by only 7,000 votes. Sujata Mandal of the TMC in Bishnupur is leading by only 1,000 votes. In Kanti, 30,000 vote margin in favor of the TMC. In Purulia, BJP is leading but only by 2,600 votes. So a lot of flipping is happening, some to the BJP's advantage and some to their disadvantage, because if they gain one, they can also lose one, Devika.
Okay, all right. Patrick, so is it too early to currently then write off the Samajwadi Party as perhaps the 3rd largest political party in India? And that is a big shift in Indian politics itself for an Akhilesh Yadav to make this sort of a comeback. But like I said, would it be too early to say that?
No, I think no one should be written off. I think it has been a formidable performance on the part of Samajwadi Party. If you look at the India Alliance, they have been able to polarize the voters, who traditionally vote for them. but the counter polarization for NDA did not happen. Unfortunately, if I am allowed to say this, the Hindus again got back to the caste politics, and that actually, those who wanted to plant that caste politics, this class politics, they to a certain extent succeeded. But I want to reiterate again, I mean, for those who are saying it's a major defeat for BJP and Narendra Modi, I want to reiterate this. UPA in 2009, as Rishabh was mentioning, when they came back to power, I think Congress got around 205 seats in the parliament, and it was considered a major victory. Compared to that, after two terms, when Prime Minister Modi comes back with 240 seats for BJP and 290 plus seats for NDA, again compare this with what UPA performed after two terms, being reduced to 93 for UPA and 44 for Congress. It is definitely not a write-off, but it is also a point of caution that while long-term structural reforms, major policy shifts for making a strong India, these are very important, and the government has done a lot of work. I think there are a lot of micro-level, microscopic issues when it comes to certain challenges, when it comes to candidate selection. Look, I think it's very clear. You cannot win everybody in the name of Prime Minister Modi. You have to be very clear about, I have come across people who did not, in spite of being strong supporter of BJP. Unfortunately, and I'm saying it on television, they did not vote for the local candidate of BJP in this election because they did not like the candidate at all. So it has happened. So I think those local issues, the factor that played against them in Maharashtra in terms of splitting the parties, I am not comment on whether it's right or wrong, but I think the sentiments went in favor of Uddhav Thackeray and Sharad Pawar. Whatever the reasons are, I think the government has performed a lot in the last 10 years. This mandate is not about performance, but about the opposition narratives which they have been able to plant somehow or the other. Yet, in this kind of a large country, after two terms, if you have still been able to beat the anti-incumbency to that extent that you are almost on the threshold of coming back to power, I think you have to give credit to the Prime Minister of the country. I think some people who are talking about Nitin Gadkari, I mean, some thinking that somebody else will come. If this performance is 240 for BJP and 290 for UPA, for NDA, I beg your pardon, who else could have done it after two terms? And in spite of all the challenges during pandemic, nobody else but for the Prime Minister Modi. So we have to give credit, and I think BJP as a political party, to the best I know, has always been still critical. They would introspect, they will find out reasons to to improve. And I think sometimes that kind of improvement is necessary. Yes, it is a verdict in favor of the NDA, but I think the mandate is also, the electorate has put a split of leash, that you have to be a little more cautious in terms of balancing your long-term agenda and the short-term challenges. Back to you.
All right. Rishabh, as far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, somewhere do you feel that both the Congress and the Samajwadi Party coming together was actually the correct strategy as far as UP is concerned in terms of cutting of votes? And similarly, was Mamata Banerjee then clever enough to not do that in West Bengal?
It is Akhilesh's drive in Uttar Pradesh that has worked. For them to come together and not cut votes is not an obvious easy transfer. Okay, the UP voters have given a near 50-50 mandate, and UP is the difference between 272 for the BJP and the current figure at 242. Okay, so UP is everything. So the BJP, which has dominated the politics at all levels, panchayat upwards, downwards in UP, has to now figure out, because without UP, that's the difference, and it's a lesson learned for all politicians. So Akhilesh has done something which is a bit of fortune, bit of anti-incumbency, bit of his good campaigning, bit of his time has come. This was just his time. Mamata Banerjee, on the other hand, after having faced anti-incumbency, has done something remarkable. She has upturned the BJP in Bengal. That was a bigger challenge than Akhilesh coming in from nowhere and trying to go for gold. So something very dramatic has happened, and that's the difference. UP is the difference, Akhilesh is the difference. The Congress is in recovery mode. In no other time in history would they be happy with the 97 mark. They're happy now because the earlier figures 55 and 44. So is it a good thing for the Congress to say, listen, we are back in the game? And are they going to be energized, and all their cadres are going to feel some more great hope? And is the people leaving, will they have to think twice? Absolutely. So that a good thing overall? I think it is. I think that's an excellent thing both for an opposition and for the incumbents.
Okay, Chandni Preetisha, your take on what's happened in West Bengal?
I think what happened in West Bengal is, see, Mamata Banerjee is the woman who uprooted the entire left in West Bengal, and she knows Bengal in and out.
Sorry to quickly interrupt you. I'll come back to you. We're just learning that Prime Minister Modi will be reaching the BJP headquarters at 7 p.m. tonight. Chandi, continue, please.
So, last in the 2019 elections, when BJP won 18 seats, I was expecting BJP to at least cross, 22, 23 seats in Bengal, and that was an expectation from everybody. Even I guess BJP was expecting that. But somehow, I think, the voters have not, went out and voted for BJP. The BJP voters have actually not went out and voted. The Sandesh, there were many instances, where the government of Bengal was facing a backlash. There was Sandesh Khali, there was, the scam that came out, the Muslim, the names that were cut out, the OBC names that were cut out. That was also a big blow on the Mamata Banerjee government. Despite of that, if the Mamata Banerjee government is doing well, is only and only because Mamata Banerjee knows the core of Bengal and the nerve of Bengal, and she the social engagement that she does in Bengal is something that she actually has a very similar pattern of social engineering like Modi and Shah for the state of Bengal.
Okay, Patrick, quickly your perspective. What do you think has worked in the favor of Mamata Banerjee in West Bengal?
Look, it's very difficult to say there has been, I won't say people have not voted, unlike in other parts of the country. The voter turnout has been very high. It's around 80%. If you ask me what are the reasons, frankly speaking, this figure and this result is a little startling. Also, we have to understand that maybe Bharatiya Janata Party, in spite of all the effort they put in, I think somewhere the organization still lacks the kind of penetration at the ground that perhaps Trinamool Congress have. Last time what happened in 2019 is that CPM could not garner that kind of vote. All the votes of the CPM did actually come towards Bharatiya Janata Party. I think this time CPM did come up as a more formidable party in this election, contested. So I think they have been able to cut quite a bit of share of the vote, which otherwise would have gone to Bharatiya Janata Party. Whether there are other reasons, whether there are in certain ways, I don't want to cast any aspersion on the victory of the TMC candidates. They actually are winning, and that is the reality. I think the Bharatiya Janata Party will also have to introspect. But let me tell you, on the ground, the BJP did actually put up a fight. You would see in many places, I think the margin of victory of TMC would not be very high. So it is a contest. Just because they have been reduced to 10 doesn't mean that they are completely out of the picture. They are still a formidable second largest political party. But yes, the organizational structure, the penetration, I think TMC is still way ahead of BJP, and that actually played a role.
All right.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.